Welcome back, everyone. It is time for game number 2, and we're hoping that it's like a bit of a closer one than last one, because
slightly closer.
Yeah, like just a bit, like 30 minutes. 30 minutes would be nice.
Now let me put it out there. We saw in the Team Liquid series and in the BLG series, T1 lose an extremely dominant game. This meta, especially Tristana, Ziggs, these really strong pushing champions, you can just get absolutely crushed. These one-sided games have happened a lot here at the Esports World Cup. And I think T1 know this is a best of 5, the first of the tournament. And they can bounce back here with blue side, first pick priority. They're going to ban the Ashe away. They're not going to let Jackie Love have that one again in this series.
Yeah, interesting that Top Esports going with the Talia ban as well. Obviously, they don't get first priority on the Tristana, and they're kind of just following through with the same bans. And, you know, it doesn't make as much sense on the red side. If you ban a 0 on 3 here, T1 just take Tristana, I'm more than happy. So it'll be interesting to see if they switch it up and target that instead. T1 banning the Tristana themselves.
A bit puzzling, and now this allows the Rumble ban to come through here, I feel, for Top Esports.
Yeah, and you'd hope that T1 has a plan outside of, let's hope that we can get Tristana or Rumble, because if they ban away Tristana themselves, then they definitely looking probably at a Rumble being taken away. The Corki first pick could then come in if the Rumble is taken, but the Corki is going to be the ban priority, and so Rumble for Zeus should be the pickup, and there it is.
Yeah, so we removed both of those AD mid laners, and I feel like those two are at such a forefront in the meta that's really enabled a lot of the AP mid laners that we have seen. So be interested to see how the draft priority changes for those junglers, but T1 obviously already happy they got this Rumble pick for Zeus.
And this tells me that Top Esports are not concerned with the Rumble pick, and I thought potentially we'd see a ranged pick here for 369 instead of the Cassante, just simply because it allows you to control that matchup a little bit better. Not going to lock in that Cassante just now. That we'll get the Maokai here instead. We might see something like a Jace coming out, not necessarily in this R2 slot. It is going to be the Yone instead here for the AD mid. Now, this allows Faker to potentially play the Yone. He's pretty comfortable with this matchup. Or sorry, not the Yone, the Azir. He's pretty comfortable with this matchup into the Yone.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Top Esports, because obviously the Maokai can have some AP damage if you go towards it, but we could see 369 bring out the Kennen again, maybe.
Yeah.
Picked up on 3, and T1 looking at the Ahri. They could just go Ahri Vi here, those two pairing together really well.
Yeah, the Vi is going to be the first lock-in, but Ahri, LeBlanc, either of these choices feel decently good into the Yone, although we did see Cap struggle in that matchup, the LeBlanc variety, yesterday. And Ahri, pretty synonymous with Faker right here. He's got a skin on that champion. Has certainly been one of his big picks throughout his incredibly long career. And Vi Ahri needs no introduction.
And I feel like if I'm seeing this on T1 side, for Top Esports, I feel like Ezreal will be such a high priority just to avoid the point-and-click lockdown that comes out from the Vi. It looks like they are focused on securing that top lane pick for 369. It will look at the Kennen, but they go for the Cassante in the end.
I think the Cassante feels very, you know, flexible here in this draft. I mean, not in terms of where it's going, but what it can do against all this CC, because he's just so tanky, can be a really strong frontline. If you go for the Kennen, you're putting yourself at risk of just getting blown up and caught when you're on a flank. The Ahri finds you on a flank, charms you. The Vi finds you on a flank and charms you. You're dead. It's going to be great for the matchup, but it's not going to be great for how team fights play out later. Now we're going to start going down the barrel of 80 carries here, since that's the part of this draft that hasn't been touched. Zeri, Ezreal, Kalista, these picks are definitely getting taken off the board here. You have to imagine pick priority going to Top Esports here. Whether they want to take support or 80 carry is up to them. Leona, another pick that may be considered here. Now, Kai'Sa ban indicates, okay, maybe we're trying to get the Ezreal here. Ezreal may get banned away, but they also have pick priority, like I mentioned. So, bit of a strange one, that Kai'Sa.
I think a big part to me is it really works well with the dive potential of the Yone, but also it is a pretty heavy AD composition that's going to come out from Top Esports, so helping that damage profile. The Ziggs even maybe with a lock-in in this situation. But I think, as you said, the Ezreal also a factor. And when we're talking about the Leona as well, we saw Mako play that so frequently in this tournament. You know, before this series, 3 out of 4 games had been on the Leona, so definitely something he likes to prioritize.
I like the Kai'Sa ban purely because I'm pretty sure that's what Jackie Love played when they played this exact composition outside of the Cassante swap for the Kennen. So we saw how it worked there. It looked very difficult to deal with. So at least they don't need to focus on that one. But that Ziggs, like you were talking about, is sticking out like a sore thumb now that the Leona has been banned away.
Ezreal comes through here, but you have Kalista, you have Renata, and this is a really strong lane for Guma Keria here into this Ezreal. It's very strong into Yone Maokai. I think this is possibly where T1 have the answer here. They took away the Leona, maybe feeling comfortable now they can play that, you know, Enchanter support of the Renata here, push the lane super hard and get that advantage. Nerfed on this patch, still the Kalista quite strong, banned less often, so sometimes does slide into these drafts, so that could be the angle here. This, I like a little bit less.
I want to see Caitlyn. That's what I want, but instead it is going to be the Kalista Renata like you were talking about. I think there are a lot of very strong options towards that bottom side, but I'm always just that little bit interested in seeing the Guma Keria Caitlyn locks. That's what I would have liked to see, but sometimes you just don't get what you want, and instead it's a different, very strong bottom lane. As Mako with counter pick option, what has he got into the Renata? And it looks like it might just be another round of Braum.
Yeah, not really going to be a fun 2v2 in that matchup, but the Braum shield has quite a lot of value in this situation, you know, being able to block a lot of the spears being stacked up by the Kalista, so definitely going to be a bit more on the defensive end when it comes to 2v2 laning. Obviously, Braum will just have a strong level 1 though, but I definitely feel like the draft is a lot more even here. I think T1 have given themselves a lot more tools.
And it's a T1 draft. You've got the pick potential, you have layered CC. It's the simplicity we've been asking for T1. They finally get it, and they get comfort. Faker on his year owner on Vi, Zeus' Rumble, and Guma Keria and a Kalista lane. What more could you want as a T1 fan? I think no T1 fan is going to shake their finger at this one.
Yep, it's win lane, win game, and that has been their bread and butter for many, many years. So looking forward to seeing whether this is going to mean that we're heading towards a 1-1 in the series.
And this is just stark contrast from game 1, where mid was the only lane which you could potentially win based on how it's played, and then lost horribly, and both the side lanes were in a rough spot for minute 1, so definitely going in a much better position for them to take control, take agency when they're setting up for plays.
Now, players preparing to get onto the Rift here for game number 2. We'll see whether T1 can do that mental reset. I was checking to see the players and how they were feeling after that loss, and there were giggles out of both Owner and Zeus as they were sitting down. I don't think anyone was looking too phased. It's a best of 5.
That's what anyone ever wants in a best of 5 situation, is it just to go the distance and just have a fantastic matchup between two top teams.
It's okay. This happens normally, Orcs. I know this is your first time here on the caster desk. It's absolutely fine. Okay. Everything's sorted out. And we are ready to dive onto the Rift. T1, you can see, spawning in now. Faker with base skin, Ari, as per usual. No silly questions about using skins. That is not something that man does. And now Top Esports making their way out onto the Rift as well. Very much looking forward to seeing whether this is going to be a
And Faker is going to be respectful here. Zeus going to collect some damage onto 369, some additional gold. But look at this draft. I mean, we talked about it moments ago. Really strong setup for the Ahri charm into Vi ultimate.
Definitely want to avoid, so would you see that similar top laners ganking mid? Yeah. That became a hallmark of MSI.
First strike gold always going to be really nice as well when you're pushing in like this. As Honor will secure the smite.
Yeah, you can see heal actually going to be invested here as well as the Winter's Bite really helping the concussive blows. There's the flash, nicely done from Owner to get in towards that blast cone and get himself out of dodge.
Fantastic by Owner if he doesn't
fall. The power of this pick is just you go dark shield, you'll keep away, your second win, you gotta shake it up. Now Zeus does have flash here, but might be in trouble.
Yeah, the teleport didn't work out. Let's see whether the flash does as he gets Bramble smashed back. Faker is here though, the teleport very early on, and now it's 369 that might be overextended. The charm doesn't land though, Orbit Deception, fair damage onto Tien, and if anything, Faker is just saved his top laner, but can they actually find something more? As the Foxfires come on in, 369 going to be the first target, he gets out of the turret, but the charm will find him, and now Tien's moved the wrong way. He wants to take a ward for his trouble, but he will burn down instead.
The second charm hits, and Faker's teleport timing here so fast. They're able to turn farm here, but he was already up on farm, already had mid controlled. Zeus?
Yeah, Zeus just comes back. Faker completes his back as the scrap shield will come on in. But 369 will pick up the return solo kill.
Yeah, not sure about that weird. Bit of a weird one. The wave is also
with his hand on his forehead right now.
The wave's also in such a terrible spot. Looks like 369 is actually just a clear out to go for a reset, but yeah, Zeus really fumbling on the back of what was a great play, and now getting some contest over these grubs, but Zeus isn't here to back up.
And he's going to be one of them taken by Tien as Cream moving on in. He will have to go back to his soul, which could mean a 3 versus 1. Make it 4 versus 1. So Tien is still left in the lurch. He kind of knew it was going to happen. Still has his flash, and is going to be taken down. Did get one of the grubs, though.
You can feel how much these two teams want. It feels like we're playing a little bit of catch here in terms of getting a lead and then tossing it away. As Zeus, like you mentioned, the wave was not a great spot. Is way up in the lane. Faker has to come over here. It's a great gank by Tian. Faker's charm missing here. Looks out in the initial outset. Pretty rough, but Faker knows he's close enough to 6 here. Zeus helps him clear these minions. He then gets the Spirit Rush to chase them down. And Zeus has enough additional damage here as well. There's just no way this goes top esports' way. 369 goes to the flash, but it's not enough. The fadeaway charm secures the kill.
Yeah, and even though obviously Zeus dying in the aftermath of this is obviously a blunder, the team play and the decisions that T1 are going for as a unit have been really good so far.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit of miscommunication as Faker was there backing Wade Cream, who does do a fair bit of work. Still has to take the Orbit Deception damage on his way back, though.
Could be a fight here, Mako. Does spot owner.
Yeah, Tian in the area as well. So a 3 versus 3 handshake going to be utilized. Jackie Love not going to get CC'd from that one. Good side steps, but still has to flash as carrier. And that is a lot of power. This Jackie Love Mako bottom lane is formidable, but they are playing so well here in this game. As Ona moves on forward, Cream, of course, can just snap back to that unbound soul. As flash forward, okay, Tian going to be the target, and he's going to return the favor. They find Faker just by himself after the buy overextends, and Tian on about 50 health just walks away. Still, Ona is able to do some battle, but he will not be vault breaking forward to find anything here for T1.
Unfortunately for T1, 2 plays kind of going the wrong way. Topside, a very sloppy dive set up there. An extra turret shot taken. A long cooldown for the Fate's Call is expended. And then here in mid, he sees blood in the water, wants to flash here and get behind Tian, but that leaves Faker out to dry. And even with the flash attempt here, there's no way out. Look at Cream getting the knock up here to help Tian. Oh, Econ top laners, the Rumble is going to get less impact than the Cassante as Owner's calling for another pass.
Yep, Faker looking for Cream here as the unbound soul does come in. The charm's going to connect, but Cream playing this one out pretty well for now. True Shot Barrage just picks the gap between the two T1 players, but Cream's just fine.
Cream's been Soul avoiding that charm, and now top esports pivoting to Dragon here. T1 not in position to contest. We'll see what Soul comes of this as we're 1-1 apiece. This is not going to be the same type of game with Grubs where there's a Tristana.
Mako getting caught out as Zeus is moving on in here. Does have the equalizer up and available, and Mako, he is not going to get them to use it. Never mind. There goes the equalizer, and they had to invest a couple of ultimates in the end to take down the Braum. Should mean that a couple of extra Grubs are going to go over to T1 off the back end of this one, so still a good play.
Yeah, managing to pick him up at the end. You saw Mako thought maybe just to be able to survive, but it's kind of showing the power of this T1 composition with his pick potential, and this is a pretty long fight.
Yeah, the Rend has to be used. There's a flash forward from Jackie Love. He lines up the Mystic Shot. Oh! Manages to tank the turret with the barrier. Just beautiful from Jackie Love.
I feel like every single Jackie Love fan held their breath in that moment, but as the barrier came out, they knew. He calculated it. He takes out the Callista. It's a buffed Ezreal meta. It's a nerfed Callista meta. We're seeing an Ezreal solo kill a Callista.
Looking absolutely fantastic. Now Faker could be in trouble, but True Shot Barrage not going to connect. Mako not able to make his way over as we check out the replay once again of this 1v1.
And yeah, we saw a similar play to this from Jackie Love, where he tried to dive into the tower. The Karthus assault came in earlier this tournament, and it backfired massively. But here, doesn't get him range to auto, but gets the Mystic Shot. The barrier comes in and then just gets out of aggro range in time before the next shot comes through.
Going to move on in. Jackie Love and Mako just repositioning towards the mid lane. Gumayushi, though, will get some free time with this bottom outer. Thanks to the extra Grubs. Of course, a 5-stack, meaning that the Void Mites are out. Does mean that they're at least able to augment that.
I think they're just going to get this tier 2 bot. It's such a huge influx of gold. Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous as Mako throws out the ulti, looks to interrupt Owner as he walks his way in, but the teleport from Zeus should mean this bottom laner going down as Mako able to walk his way out. The Foxfire is enough to do it, though. It's Faker.
Good wave clear. He's not going to allow a turret to go down here, and this is just a step forward too far here, as there's no way that you could see a teleport from 369 here. Zeus, on the other hand, finds the flank angle with his TP. The equalizer is beautiful, and with the Ezreal down, there's no damage to trade back. Baker happy to rush forward here.
It's going to easily allow them to snowball a fight. I think top esports should really be cautious and ask themselves, do we even need to contest this dragon?
Baker's TP almost back up as well. 369 just used his, so if this goes on for much longer, he will be able to join in as this Rift Herald will crash through. They're going to try to take out this turret. Big win here for top esports. Great neutral contest into turret take.
Yeah, going to be the dragon fully taken down. They did manage to deal with the minion wave, but you can't kill Shelly that quickly. And so she will be helping out. Tien taking a fair bit of damage, though, as Ona gets back over the wall. Equalizer! They're all lined up on top! And now the barbecue begins! The ultimate out there from Cream is decent. Still hit by the hostile takeover, though, as he flashes away. There's the cease and desist as Jackie Love looks to try and get himself out of it. But once again, it's his flame spitter that's doing all the work. A double kill for Gumayushi, and they'll take the turret on top.
One equalizer there from Zeus, the perfect angle when they're up against the wall, nowhere to escape, and they decimate top esports. The cleanup is decisive, the tower take is there, the dragon as well, and T1 making it clear there's a lot of fight left in this series.
Yeah, you get a turret, but it's going to be at a heavy price because it means you're so far up there. When the turn comes through from T1, you've got to play respectfully around all the ults, all the engagement. Watch this here as we see they back away. Look at Ona's positioning. They have to kind of kite away towards the edge of this wall, which means Zeus gets a 4-man equalizer here. And then Ona decides he wants to go in. Looks like maybe he's overextended here, but they end up getting the Braum, and then he switches targets here onto Jackie Love. Watch Karius shield him as well as he comes through so he can flash away and escape. Turret aggro juggle bolt ahead. Has 2 items. The Riftmaker so good for this brawly composition. And T1 are winning on both sides of the map. There's no inner and mid. They're using that play incredibly well. Here comes Guma.
Yeah, ultimate out immediately from Cream, but there's the follow-up from Gumayushi. He gets slowed down, though. And that is very important for keeping these top esports members alive. But this time, it's T1 that can then have that gank attempt denied, still managed to take a turret off the back end. This is precisely what top esports were able to do in game 1, now on the other end of it.
Sort of seeing the meta that we've had for the tournament, like just jungle camps are being cleaned up, but TP comes in, they're looking for a flank.
Yeah, the faker flank angle does come on through. Hostile takeover just splits up top esports. They can't support 369, but he's pretty mobile, and another equalizer comes down. This time, not going to be layered with other CC, but Faker is looking to rectify it. Great buffer from 369. Gets himself out of the way, and even though Mako and Carrier shake hands, it's not going to be a team fight. T1 just taking control of the map. They do lose a couple of ultimates, but they'll retain a whole bunch of extra control.
Should be Dragon out of this guarantee, but they want even more. They're going to grab this inner here in mid. Good true shot here for Jackie Left to kind of chip away at this minion wave, but it won't save the turret, and it won't save the Dragon. Cream and 369 have teleport, but no wards to go to, and with vision control over the Baron, there's no way they can rush over for a trade. T1 kind of have this one locked up in terms of both objectives. It's essentially checkmate. Top esports could try to flip the Baron, could take a crazy
take down the Baron, but it's suffocation here and not wanting to make any risks on this map as Mako possibly caught out. There's a handshake. He puts up the door. He's soaking a lot of damage, but Faker dives in. He picks up Tien, who does have the twisted advance to try and get forward, but Zeus, it's once again the barbecue, and Faker is taken down. Trees on top of it. Jackie Love dies off the back end. Faker, he even had the bailout available. He was never going to die, and that is a clean ace for T1.
Such a decisive victory from T1 to bounce back on this one. They don't risk the Baron flip, and when the engage comes through, they connect on every single target. 5-0 ace, looking to end the game here.
Mako has to check. They have no vision. Somebody has to go in. If they don't, the Baron is lost. They walk right in to this chain CC composition. The snipe from Zeus with the equalizer, and T1 are going to equalize this series.
Yeah, and that is stomp after stomp, but on other sides of the rift, ladies and gentlemen. As the Nexus goes down, we have an even series here for the final of EWC, and we wouldn't have it any other way. It is now time for us to go to a short break, and after that, Studio's going to break.